Do you know what kinds of question a teacher can ask? I'm Nilo, and in this video I'll tell you 7 categories of teacher questions. The first category of questions a teacher can ask is the category of eliciting formal factual answers. For example, by asking you what, where, when, and who something happened. It's very common to have yes or no questions in this category of questions. The second category of questions a teacher can ask you is the category of comprehension questions. For example, interpretation and extrapolation of something you have learned. In this category, as an example, I can give you for state in your own words something, or explain something in your own words. Try to define something in your words. Select or indicate something. The third category of questions a teacher can ask is the application questions. In this category, teacher is asking you to apply information you have heard or read about. For example, you have to demonstrate how to solve a problem. So it's very common to hear questions as how is blah 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 used for, or what is blah 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 used for. So questions about how to do something and the procedures is very common in this category of questions. The fourth category of questions a teacher can ask is the inference questions. The inference questions are questions that you cannot find in the instructional material. For example, what does the author mean by blah blah blah? You cannot say properly in what the author believes in, but you can infer by the information you are reading or by something you are listening to what are the inferences of that information. The category number 5 is the analysis question. In this category, you are supposed to distinguish, analyze, diagram, chart, outline, classify some information. So it's very common to hear from a teacher questions as what is the relationship between something. So you have two different parts of information and you have to relate those parts into a analysis. The category number 6 is the category of synthesis question. In this category, you are supposed to get information together again. Previously, in the category of analysis, you were supposed to separate information into parts and diagrams. In this category of synthesis, you were supposed to get all those pieces back and make a whole picture of it again. So it's very common to hear questions from the teacher as what if. So you have different pieces of information, and by settling them together you can have a what if question. Or you can also hear what would you do in this situation. So you have different parts of a situation and you have to analyze them and make a synthesis of it. Finally, the 7th category of questions a teacher can ask is the category of evaluation questions. In this category of questions, you are supposed to analyze and decide which is the best. So it's important to make a judgment of good and bad, right and wrong, and it's very common to hear questions as which is the best, which is the most important, or which do you think is the most appropriate? Thank you so much for watching to this video. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell to receive the upcoming videos.